Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Sit up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go out?
You've got to get mad.
67. I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta.
We're not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Who are you talking to, Herb?
CGG Atlanta.
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Herb?
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Ted?
But first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
They're yelling in Baton Rouge.
Get up, get up, get up out of your...
Son of a bitch! We struck the mother lode!
Stick your head out of the window, open it, and stick your head out and keep yelling and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore. Just get up from your chairs right now. Go to
Where
the
you
window.
going? I want to see if everybody's yelling.
Open it and stick your head out and yell and keep yelling. I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm not going to take it anymore.
Welcome to VoicesCary Live. My name is Randy Scott. You are joining me on VoicesCary Live, broadcasting in beautiful Cary, Illinois. I might get in trouble for this one, but I want to bring this to you today. This is your megaphone. This is your microphone. And I'm mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore. I chose a profession, firefighting, because anybody could dial 3 numbers and you get in a truck or an ambulance and you go. And I love that aspect to it. And one of the reasons why I chose door hangers instead of every door direct mail for advertising for my campaign for mayor for the beautiful village of Cary is because I wanted to get back to walking up to somebody's house. I wanted to have those interactions. I wanted to, you feel the soul of somebody by what they have in their front yard. And we have to get back to as a municipality, understanding where the tax dollars come from. Because it's coming from folks leaving their homes, leaving their kids to go work, to pay taxes. That's time, that's valuable time away from your children or your loved ones to essentially work to pay taxes. And when those dollars aren't appreciated, you should be mad as hell and not take it anymore. And I've seen that. I've seen instances where tax dollars are not appreciated, and we're going to do something about it. And like that gentleman said in the movie from 1976, The Network, there's no need to protest or riot or do anything like that. You just need to stand up and use your megaphone. Use your megaphone and vote. What I want to do is get back to basics. I want to get back to appreciating that tax dollar, or appreciating half that tax dollar, because we're so efficient we don't need to pull as much. It's going to take a lot of uncovering. In a prior show, I mentioned a thing, Party City closing. And you're like, Randy, that's Party City. It's in Crystal Lake. It has nothing to do with Cary. Why are you bringing it up? Well, when somebody, I used to have this tradition going with family to go to Fresh Time shopping. They have a small shopping cart. You get to get in there, and the kids get to take the shopping cart and do their thing and put a whole bunch of stuff you don't need in the cart, and then you don't have the heart to put it back. I wouldn't trade that for the world. But one of the traditions I had was leaving Party City, or leaving Fresh Time and then going to Party City and having them blow up a balloon for my daughter, and now my son, and a son on the way. And much like how when somebody messes with the school district I went to, you get my attention, and when somebody takes a balloon away from my daughter, you get my attention. So I went down the rabbit hole, and Party City was a victim of something called private equity. And before you glaze over, this is designed to be confusing. I'm not going to make it confusing. I'm going to do my best to be a good communicator here. Private equity comes in and buys up. It can be a collective. It used to be 1 to 10 people or companies could go and buy something, say Party City. Then it went to 1 to 100 people or companies can get their money together and go buy something. Now it's unlimited. There's no limit on the people or companies that can be involved in a group. Some of the heavy hitters are like BlackRock and Vanguard. And here lies the problem, is that 2008 was a thing with housing. Now we have these private equity firms that are going in and buying things like Party City. You have Red Lobster, you have Hooters. That's the thing. The thing with Red Lobster was that a private equity firm came in. Now, Randy, this is in Carpentersville. Why are you bringing this up? Bear with me. Private equity came in, bought Red Lobster. Red Lobster was a nice little business. They own the land, much like Ray Kroc said in the McDonald's movie, The Founder. You're not in the burger business, you're in the real estate business. You got to own the land of which the McDonald's operates on. That doesn't always have to be the same person, but Red Lobster had a great thing going. Red Lobster owned the land of which they operated on, so they didn't have to make those lease payments. It wasn't a hard due date to make that lease payment. And then if they ever ran into trouble, they could go and leverage that land to borrow. Nice business that they had. Private equity, a whole bunch of people got together, went in, bought a whole bunch of stock, took over controlling interest. When you buy enough stock in something, you can have a controlling interest and essentially take over the company. It was their playground. They started selling off assets, taking on a whole bunch of debt. They didn't care what happened to the name. They didn't care what the founders had built. That's what we need to take care of in Cary. We have a lot of history here. And there's a lot of forces at play here that want land to treat it as their playground. And when I went into Party City, I saw the same thing happened with private equity. And I have here this is Caryopoly. I have not played this yet, but these are the pieces that came with it. This is supposed to resemble your house. That's what they gave you. It's like a gray box. Very inspiring. This is what the house used to be for Monopoly, regular Monopoly. Your hard-earned tax dollars go to a bank in town, BMO Harris, and they sit there. Does BMO Harris own the land? No, it's a different company. This is BMO. This is the street right next to the tracks. Now, I have no idea what the leasing arrangements are. And if you look here, it says BMO Harris Administration, Monroe Street, Chicago, Illinois. I don't like people leaving their family, being away from their children to pay for something that could have slippage in it. I don't like slippage, especially when it comes to public money. Now, if you look, this is the land that is underneath the BMO Harris, where our tax dollars are stored. It's called Realty Income Property 4 LLC. This, I'll get to that in a minute. There's a group of companies with 1, 2, 3, 4, same name. They own a closed Arby's in Lake in the Hills. They own, the land on Arby's, and then they own the land of which the AMC sits on in Lake in the Hills. So if you see a going trend here, there's a lot of moving pieces. And when it comes to your tax dollars, I want to find out. And there was kind of a breaking point here to where I was sitting on this for a while, and I was like, what did it for me was doing the door hangers, not just doing every door direct mail and doing mass mailings, walking up and just seeing and hearing kids. And I was like, we need to address this. So Realty Income Illinois Properties 4. That might very well be an Illinois corporation. But in Delaware has a certain set of laws to where it's a lot more private to own a company. So a lot of people will set up the same name of the company in Delaware. And in Delaware, you have the same Realty Income Illinois Properties 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to address what exactly is going on with your money. We need to make it work harder for you. We need to make sure that private equity is not destroying and dismantling our school districts, our families. And I want to bring those values of no matter who calls in your town, you're helping them. The window sign debacle. The Village of Cary leverages a law firm out of the city of Chicago. A lot of people in there. And they've had a full-on assault against my business, me personally, and my wife. They've sent private investigators to our home. And when I looked up this BMO Harris leasing branch, where all the lease payments supposedly come through, I looked it up in Chicago. And then I was like, well, I wonder where that lawyer office is. Literally right across the street. These are the lawyers that are training our zoning board. These are the lawyers that have suppressed and have sent nasty letters to our school district. You have a right to be upset. I certainly am. And I like to bring a level head to this. That's why this whole show has always been about communication, about the community. And the thing is that when these private equity doesn't just take Party City, they come in and they take emergency rooms, they take HVAC companies, carpet companies, and they put them all together. Remember Empire Carpet? Empire Carpet, there was no Empire Carpet. That was just a collective. They'll come into a town, find a nice medium-sized carpet business, and they'll bring it into Empire. And now they're essentially working for that. That's what private equity does. And when that... So 2008 was a thing. They know that they can't mess around with banks. They won't bail out banks anymore. The public won't have that. So now the next thing that could be out in their horizon is these pensions investing in these private equity firms, thinking that that's a good investment, which that's happening. Our very own police department most likely does that for their pensions. These are moms, dads, grandparents, money that we're messing with now. So when you see a Party City close, when you see a Linens and Things close, when you see Kohl's or an Office Max on their way out, or Bed Bath & Beyond, Bye Bye Baby. I loved going to Bye Bye Baby to get stuff for the kids. There's an opportunity here to bring it back into small town, to have that small town feel, because when you have a problem, say Bye Bye Baby sells you something that hurts your baby. You go and you try to do something about it. Bye Bye Baby has a whole arm of lawyers to shut that down, make sure the media never hears about it, and you go away with maybe a small payment or something. When that happens into a small town, there's accountability. So the opportunity here is that we have an opportunity to take and make it a small town again, to where we have thriving business, to where we have a bakery downtown again, to where we have to the first thing is just to address the issue. And there's been no accusations made here. It's all publicly known knowledge. And the dots, I've mentioned connecting the dots before. There's a lot of dots that I don't like that are really close to one another. So if you want somebody that is appreciative of your tax dollar, and when the budget, you're coming up on the end of the budget and you just got to blow through the rest of that cash so you can say that you need it for next year. That's time away from kids. That's time away from your loved ones. And if you want somebody in there that appreciates and understands that fact, there goes Dad. I'm your guy. So all these gray houses here, add some color in your life. And take back your house. And take back your home. I have some work to do. Get out and vote. And I appreciate you following me for this journey. I look forward to continuing this show after April 1st. Have a wonderful weekend.